Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today I'll be bringing you my review of the Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Deluxe Class Cheetor, or how I've always pronounced it, Cheetor, because there is an O in his name, as you can see there. So I've always pronounced it Cheetor, and maybe because I've been so used to saying it that way, I prefer the sound of that than just calling him a cheater, but that is what they called him in the show. And as a kid, I don't know why I never caught up, and I always thought they were, and I guess, heard Cheetor instead of cheater, but that's besides the point. Here he is in his beast mode, and nothing fancy here. He is a deluxe class, which hasn't changed between since then till now. That hasn't changed. He's a deluxe class figure. So yeah, no explanations there, unlike other Beast Wars where I had to specify. But yes. So here he is, and Cheetor here is something called a transmetal, and as you can see, he is an animal, but he looks more robotic. And to sort of give a quick summary, I believe in the second season of Beast Wars, some characters got upgraded into what's referred to as transmetal modes or transmetals. And this is what happened. Their beast modes got these metallic looks. They gained a sort of third form, and the robot modes changed to look more kind of like their animal counterparts, if that makes any sense. To sort of explain it is that their robot modes kind of have more attributes from their beast modes. Like you see like tufts of fur, and you see like less robotic parts in the robot modes, yet in the beast modes there's more robotic parts, if that makes any sense. Whereas in their original forms, it was their beast modes and then their robot modes, and I'm a bad tad rambling, but yeah, this is what they are. These are sort of these were upgraded forms to some characters. And yeah, here he is. And even though his first form, and in this one it's supposed to be a cheetah, if you look at it carefully, it looks more like a jaguar. And I feel that's even more noticeable in his robot mode when you see like the patches of fur. They have spots on them, which I'll show off later in his robot mode. But yes, so here he is in his beast mode, which is supposed to be a sort of metallic cheetah, but it looks more like a jaguar to me. And I think that's enough talking about his robot mode. Not his robot mode, his beast mode. Let's get on with some articulation. The arms how do we put these? The forelimbs, there we go. The forelimbs can rotate 360 degrees and has two hinges here, there, and one on the paw. The back legs have three hinges here, so 1, 2, 3 hinges, and ball joints, and a ball joint on his hind leg. Foreleg, hind leg. And he also has it, this is more for his robot mode, but he does have a bit of a waist swivel. I don't know how useful that is in his beast mode, but he does have a waist. And the head isn't supposed to move, but because these are actually his robot mode arms, you can kind of like move it around a bit, but it's not supposed to do that. And if there's something missing on this Angry Kitty, is that I don't have his tail. I lost it, many years ago. But that still doesn't take away from the figure. That only really affects his beast mode, where he just doesn't have a tail and he just has his hole there. And that's about it. The tail also doubled as like a club weapon, which I think he only used like either once or twice on the show. The rest of the time he was using his sort of arm cannons. So yeah, that's enough about his beast mode. And before I get into transformation, which is pretty simple, let me show off his third mode. Now, the Transmetals, when the Transmetals were introduced, they also introduced a sort of I call it a travel mode, where it just gives them a boost of speed. Like, there's a proper word for it, but I can't remember it now. But so I'm just gonna call it a travel mode, which is different depending on it differs between characters. Cheetor here has a flight mode, so if you just assume the flying position, you can actually pull these panels out, pull them again, and then put your finger here and extend these out. You then get these thrusters, these rocket thrusters. And I think this is how he had them in the show. And this would enable him to fly around, which is really cool. Now it leaves this huge gap in the middle, But still, very cool. It's a very neat mode, especially since they've already, you know, they're not really hiding anymore in these modes. They're not trying to blend in with the local fauna. They're clearly mechanical now. So adding this sort of extra mobility is nice. And and these are just part of the thrusters, the little extendy bits. They're not actual cannons, which I thought that they were initially. So just transform them back. And there you go. Oh, and underneath here is where you can find, there we go, his Energon chip, which is just a rub sign. This thing still works. If you rub it, you reveal what allegiance he is. I don't know if it shows up, but he is supposed to be a Maximal, which were the good guys in Beast Wars, if you didn't know that. So now I am now done talking about his Beast mode, which I think I've rambled on too much. And yeah, so let's go with transformation, which is really simple. So let me lift this up a bit. First things first, you stand him up, which apparently is traditional for most Cheetors. You extend his legs, flip down the heels, like so. And then for here, you fold back the arms, the cheetah legs, then you fold these down. Then this bit, you fold back and down. I think the cheetah arms are supposed to be like this. There we go. And you collapse it down like so. And then for this part, you flip up his head, bring this down. And even though I'm kind of showing this a bit early, this is how you can kind of have him put his arms together to fire his cannon. Because in the show, he would put his arms together and fire lasers. This is how you would achieve it on the toy, even though, yeah. I mean, if you angle it from the back, it doesn't look, you can kind of pull it off, but doesn't look that right. But that's how you would do it. You would separate, fold down, put these down, and collapse them back. One sort of problem, and then fold forward the arms, adjust the back, and that's it. One sort of weird thing is that when you move this thing, all of this is on one piece, and this doesn't really connect anywhere. Although I gotta say, I like the little detail that this is here. Looks like a heart. I don't know if that means anything. But you see there's like furry texture, and you don't really see that much of it. But they added that when you flip this up. So a nice little bit of detail. And like I was saying, here he is in his robot mode. Very simple transformation. And fairly accurate to his show model. And as like I was talking about, is that in his robot mode, you now see more beast, like sort of more organic parts, while his beast mode had more metallic. That was sort of the thing they did with Transmetals. They kind of flipped them, where the beast was more organic and the robot was, you know, robotic. They flipped it here with Transmetals, where now the robot mode has more organic pieces. Like you start seeing all these spots and stuff. And even though cheetahs have spots, the design of the head is just way too big to be a cheetah, so I think this looks more of a jaguar. The head sculpt, I think, is the least accurate thing about it. Like Cheetor's head doesn't look like this on the show. Still a pretty cool head sculpt. Now for articulations, the legs are pretty much the same as his beast mode. Just has the ball joint there and the bend in the knee, and if you really want to, you have that extra hinge, but it's not supposed to be used in robot mode. And a little up and down on the feet. The arms have ball joint there and ball joint there. And the head itself is on a ball joint. So he has a pretty wide range of movement, as well as that waist swivel, which is now more useful here. So you can get some pretty good poses from this guy. And that's pretty much it for his robot mode. Like I said, normally if you had the club weapon, you would just put it in his hand and that'd be it. But since on the show he never really used it, you can just put his hands together and just fire away. Which would be done like this, or in that sort of middle way that I showed you. And I said, I guess the biggest issue is that this is just one bit and it doesn't really connect into place anywhere. So it just, when you're moving it, it sends a lift up, which is a bit annoying. But other than that, it's a pretty darn solid figure. Pretty solid figure. Very nice. And I recommend it for both as a little gift, for anybody or for any collectors. He's pretty cool. The beast mode looks really nice. The robot mode looks really nice. The And the articulation is there, so it's pretty cool. Overall, it's a nice solid figure. So yeah, now for some size comparisons. Here we have Ratchet and Cliff Jumper. And as you can see, he's pretty much as tall as a fairly modern Deluxe, which is pretty good. Not the most modern ones, but you get what I mean. Still sizes up pretty well, so that's good. So yeah, overall, solid figure. Highly recommend it. Gets a thumbs up out of me. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Deluxe Class Cheetor, or Cheetor as I would pronounce it. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out.